Today, we're going to be making our own positive and negative space drawing of an animal. So we're going to need a piece of paper, a piece of white paper, and a piece of construction paper. I chose black for my piece of construction paper. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to actually take my white piece of paper and I'm going to fold it in half because I only need 1/2 of my white piece of paper. I'm going to line it up so my lines and my paper is lined up really neat and straight. And then I'm going to make a nice crease and then cut my paper in half. We can use the other half of the paper later if we want to. But then I'm going to cut my piece of paper in half so we can start drawing on the 1/2 of it. Then I'm going to take my markers and I'm going to start to draw a design, any kind of design I want on that one white piece of paper that's the half size. I want to fill that white piece of paper completely with a different pattern. So I want to make it very bright and colorful and make sure there's no white of my paper left once I'm all done. I'm going to do kind of a rainbow dot pattern. So I'm starting with my red and then I'm going to go with my rainbow colors out until my entire paper is filled up and there's no white of my paper showing through. I'm going to keep going, and once my entire paper is filled up, I'm going to start with the next step. I did a second one where I just kind of took my crayons and scribbled and filled the whole thing up with different colors. But I like the rainbow circle one. The next thing I'm going to do is flip it over and take my pencil and I'm going to draw the outline or silhouette of an animal that I choose. Now, I'm using a picture for reference, so we can get our iPads out and search animal silhouettes of our choosing if we would like to help look at that to draw. So I'm choosing a bear. So I want to draw the outline of a bear. Now this is just the back of my paper. So if I have extra lines, it doesn't matter because we're going to end up gluing that paper down so we won't see any of these extra lines, but I want to make nice lines to cut my bear out. So I'm going to take my time with my pencil so that way I can change my lines if I mess up, and I'm going to draw the outline or silhouette of an animal. And my animal is a bear. Once I've got my animal drawn out, I want to start cutting out my bear. Now this is the tricky part. I want to make one cut going from the edge of my paper to one spot on my bear. Now I want to make sure I cut out my bear in one piece. So I don't want my paper around my bear to end up in multiple pieces. I want to cut it out in one piece. So I'm going to carefully cut out my bear. I made the one cut to go from the edge of the paper to my start of my bear. I chose where his foot is, and then I'm going to start to carefully cut it out so I end up having 2 complete pieces of paper. So I'm not cutting up the outline or the background of my paper too much. I want it to be in one complete piece. So once I got it cut out, you can see that I end up having a bear and then a piece of paper with a bear cutout in it. So we have a positive and a negative space. So when I flip it over, I have a positive space bear, and then I have a negative space bear. The negative, it would be where the background is the bright, colorful rainbow pattern, and then the bear is actually the background or the black paper that I'm gluing it onto. And the positive space bear would be the bear that is rainbow and colorful, and the background would be the negative space, which is the black construction paper. So I want to first glue down my background positive space really nice and neat. I want to make sure it's lined up with the top, and I want to glue that down really good, make sure every little piece is stuck down. Now that's why we want to make sure we only make one cut from the edge to the bear, so that way we don't have many pieces to glue down. And then I can go and I can glue down my bear. I want to try and make sure my bear on the negative space half of my paper is in the middle like it would be at the top. So it matches, but it's opposite. So I have a positive space bear and a negative space bear. Once I'm all done, I'll have my animal in positive space and a negative space, with a positive space bear and a negative space background, and a negative space bear and a positive space background. I can't wait to see what animal you guys choose and have fun creating our patterns and our positive and negative space animals.